Welcome to Open Up's Practice a Day. Today's sequence is called Confidence Boost. We'll be focusing on breath as well as movement together. So I invite you to come to a comfortable seat, whether that's cross-legged or on your knees, maybe on a blanket or a block if you have one of those. We're going to try ladder breath. I'll show you how to do it first. I'm going to place my hands around my rib cage so that I can really feel my ribs expand as I inhale and feel my ribs contract as I exhale. My thumbs will be pointing towards the back of me, and then my fingers will be spread out across my ribs in the front of my body. This breath is called ladder breath because, like climbing up a ladder and then climbing back down, we're slowly going to inhale 1/3 of our capacity, then another third, then the final third, pause at the top of our ladder, then we'll come back down the ramp. So we'll exhale a third, a third, a third. Let me show you first. I'm going to take a cleansing breath. Inhale, exhale. Then I'm going to sip 1/3 of my lungs full of air. Sip in some air. Pause. Sip in a second third. Sip in the last third. Hold. And then I'll exhale a third, just letting out a little bit. A third. And the final third until my lungs are empty. Let's give it a try together. Place your hands around your ribs. Let's take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose and then out through the nose. Ready? Inhale 1/3. Inhale a third. Inhale that final third. Hold. Exhale, let it out just a third. A third. One last third. Lungs are empty, hold it there. Try again, back up the ladder. Inhale a third. A third. Final third. Lungs are full, hold it at the top. Exhale. A second third. Final third, lungs are empty. And pause. Great work. Go ahead and let your arms come wherever is comfortable. How did that feel for you? I know, like placing my hands here, it really helps me feel my ribs expanding as I bring the air in and then contracting as the air flows out of my lungs. We're going to try it again in a little bit, so no worries, there's more time for practice if it wasn't perfect that first time. Go ahead and find downward facing dog with me. Hands will press into the mat. Fingers are really spread wide. Let your head be heavy here. Heels press towards the floor. Reach your right leg back behind you. Bend your knee. Pull your knee in towards your chest. Step it between your hands. Low runner's lunge. My head, the top of my head is extending towards the front of the mat as I press my heel towards the back of the mat. Come up on your fingertips, just a little. Start to gain some balance. Maybe you come off your fingertips. If you notice you need a wider stance, you can always walk your front foot out to the side. As you come off your fingertips, slowly begin to lift your torso up. Find your balance here. Again, this might be a good opportunity to widen your stance if you need to. Press in towards the front knee as back leg extends through the heel. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Ribs pull in. Reach your arms up to the sky. Biceps will be close to ears. High lunge. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sink into your front knee just a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Let's find that alignment first. So my straight leg, the foot will be parallel with the short edge of the mat. My bent leg in the front will be pointed straight ahead. Your hips are going to be open here. Chest is lifted. Reach your arms out to the side directly from your shoulders. Then roll your shoulders back. Open your palms towards the ceiling. Elbows will have a little bend. Inhale here. Exhale, try to bend a little bit more into your front knee. Moving on, we're going to reverse our warrior. So your hand that is next to the straight leg can come down on your outer thigh. Your arm that is on the same side as your bent leg is going to help you reverse back. As I reach my arm up to the sky, my upper body is going to lean towards my straight leg. This is reverse warrior. Imagine someone has a string around your wrist and they're lifting your arm up towards the ceiling, lengthening that side body. Inhale, exhale. Back to warrior two. Next is extended side angle. So we're going to lean in the opposite direction towards the bent knee. I'm going to place the arm next to the bent knee on my inner thigh. And then my arm that is next to the straight leg is going to reach up and over towards the bent knee. Think about opening your chest here, twisting from behind the heart. I like to use my arm to open my knee up as I bend into it even more. Extended side angle. Take a deep breath in through the nose. See if you can twist your heart open a little more on the exhale. Back to warrior two. Now I'm going to turn on the ball of my back foot, coming back to that high lunge. Takes a little bit of balance here. Slowly lower yourself back to the low lunge. Plant your hands on the mat. Kick up that front foot. Step it back into downward facing dog. Pedal your knees out if that feels good. And then go ahead and come down to your knees. We're going to find a child's pose before we do the opposite side. So knees can come as wide as the mat, big toes together. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Arms extend towards the front of the mat. Let your forehead relax if that feels nice for you. You can even make a pillow with your hands by creating a diamond shape and letting your forehead rest. A couple of breaths here before we find the other side. Slowly come out of child's pose and find downward facing dog. I like to start in tabletop and then tuck my toes, lift my knees off the mat as I reach my hips to the ceiling. Take a moment here in downward facing dog. Really spread your fingers wide. You can bend your knees. Press into the mat as you reach your left leg to the back of the room. Pull your knee in towards your chest. Step it between your hands. Find that low runner's lunge. Bending into the front knee as you press your back heel towards the back of the room and reach the top of your head towards the front of the room. Slowly begin to lift to fingertips, and then finally let your fingertips come off the mat as your torso lifts. If you want, you can place your hands on your hips to find your balance. Maybe you walk those front toes out a little bit to give yourself a wider base. Arms reach up to the sky. Biceps are close to ears here. Think about pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Sink into the front knee as your back heel extends. Open up, warrior two, to the opposite side. Flip your palms up to the ceiling. Arms can be bent. Bending into the front knee, look at your feet placement. So again, the straight leg, your pinky side of your foot is going to be parallel with the short end of the mat. On the bent leg, those toes will point straight towards the short edge of the mat. I'm going to place my hand down on my straight outer thigh as I reverse my warrior, reaching my left arm up to the ceiling, bending my torso away from my bent knee. Again, imagine someone had a hold of your wrist and they were lifting you up towards the ceiling. Try to let your head relax. Back to warrior two. Going the opposite direction, extended side angle, I'm going to place my hand on my inner thigh as I reach towards my bent knee. Using my arm, I'm going to pry my bent knee open as I lift and open my chest towards the ceiling. Back to warrior two. Using your balance, lift up to the ball of your foot, spin around on the ball of your foot, heel is lifted, coming into high lunge. Pause for one breath here, and then slowly bring your hands down to frame your left foot, low lunge. Press into the mat as you bend your front knee, pick your foot up off the ground, meet me in downward facing dog. Head is as heavy as a bowling ball here. Find child's pose. Big toes touch, knees are wide, hips sink low. You can either extend your arms out Or if it feels nice to wrap your hands towards your heels, that's another option here. Rest your right ear on the mat. And then switch so that your left ear can rest on the mat. Roll up to a seat. We're going to practice our ladder breath again. So find a comfortable position that can be cross-legged, that can be sitting on your shins like I'm doing, or even sitting in a chair. If you liked placing your hands around your rib cage, you can try that again. Another option that I invite you to try is one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. So either works. Try out both. Let's take a cleansing breath together first. Inhale through the nose. And let it go. Ladder breath. Inhale a third. A third. A third. Pause at the top of your ladder. Exhale 1/3. A third. A third. Pause at the bottom of your ladder. Sip in a third. A third. A third. Pause here. Exhale. A third. Final third. Let's try that one more time. Going back up. Inhale just a bit. Second third. Third third. And pause. Back down the ladder. A third. Final third. Hold it right here. And release. Great job. Notice if that was a bit easier, if you gained a little bit of confidence with ladder breath on that second time. Meet me in downward facing dog. We're going to try that sequence one more time. We'll speed it up just a bit. Really press into those hands. Press those heels towards the mat. Reach your right leg to the back of the room on an inhale. Exhale, pull your knee into your chest. Step into low runner's lunge. Begin to lift your fingertips off the mat. Chest lifts, arms reach towards the sky. High lunge. Open up into warrior two. Bend into your front knee. Widen your stance if you need to. Flip your palm up. Reverse your warrior. Back to warrior two. Extended side angle. Open your chest towards the ceiling. Back to warrior two. We're going to add on. We'll straighten this right knee. Wiggle walk our straight leg, our back leg up so our stance is a little bit more narrow, and try triangle pose this time. So reaching with my right arm towards my straight leg that is pointed forward, I'm going to reach until I can't reach any longer. Then I'm going to let my arms, my right arm will fall down, left arm will fall up, reach up. As I pull my arms in opposition, I'm going to twist from behind my heart, opening my chest, triangle pose. Back up. This time I'm going to turn again on the ball of my foot, reach my arms up to a high lunge, lower down to low lunge, step back, downward facing dog. Left leg reaches back to the sky. Pull your knee into your chest. Step your foot in between your hands. Inhale, lift up, high lunge. Open up into warrior two. Legs are nice and wide, front knee is bent. Reverse your warrior. Back to warrior two. Trying out triangle pose again. Straighten that front leg. Wiggle, walk your back foot in so your stance is shorter. Reach your left arm towards the extended leg. When you can't reach anymore, dip over just like a teapot and reach your arms in opposition. Chest opens towards the ceiling. Deep inhale here. Exhale to stay. Inhale brings you back up. We're going to turn towards that high lunge. Find your balance. Lower down, low lunge. Step back, downward facing dog. Come back down to your knees. Great work, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for some breath, some movement, and triangle pose.